What's up, YouTube? So today, I don't know if I would consider this kind of a weekly update, just a topic I want to touch base on. And every time I do like a weekly update of the past, I think I did like 2 or 3 previously, like a couple months ago. I kind of like the feedback on it and kind of the interaction in the comments and people going back and forth. I'm going to talk about the Alta Redshift MXR bike that just got released today, so I'm filming it the same day. Just want to touch base on it, compare it to the old Alta, and kind of give my opinion on it, my thoughts, if I'm going to purchase one, kind of the long run for this year, and kind of get your feedback on it too, what you guys think about it, if you would buy one, kind of your opinion on the whole electric scene. I know there's a lot of controversy on electric's stupid, electric's dumb, there's no sound, blah, 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 but if you really think about the big picture here, that some of you might understand, it's kind of like where it's going, or just a more versatile, like ride it anywhere, don't gotta worry about the sound, obviously. And yeah, so I'm gonna touch base on that, touch base on the bike, kind of some of the specs compared to the old bike. And yeah, we'll go from there. If you happen to be new and this is the first video you're watching, this is not my normal content I post. You can go search on the channel, see some different dirt bike related videos if you want. Definitely hit the subscribe button down below if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up for electric bikes. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of thumbs down then in that case, but regardless, let's get right into some of the specs on the MXR compared to the normal Redshift MX bike. So I got a little cheat sheet here on a piece of paper I wrote out this morning, but the first thing it has, I'm going to list off some of the specs that it has compared to the other bike, and then I'll kind of go back and touch base on it. So first thing is 50 horsepower. Next thing is 147 foot-pounds of torque. Next is the major thing I think that they changed is an hour-and-a-half charge time on 240 volts. I'll touch base on that after. And then the weight is 259 pounds. And the you can purchase that for about 12,000, maybe like around a little under 13,000 out the door. So the next thing a lot of people talk about or have questions on is the range, how long the run time, how long it'll last on a full charge. So with the new bike here in like woods or single track or trail riding, it's going to get about 4 hours, maybe a little more than 4 hours, depending on how hard you ride it, obviously. I mean, if you ride it harder, it's not going to last as long. Next is like a backyard moto. You're not really pushing it. Maybe you're at the track, you're just cruising around. You're not really pushing the bike to its full capabilities. It's about an hour plus. And then the next thing is like hard racing, like on the throttle constantly, is 25 minutes of runtime on a full charge. So that's the biggest downfall, is the range if somebody were to be racing it hard on that 25 minutes. But I'm assuming if you're not a top level racer, you can get a decent amount of time on it. I'd say as long as you bring a generator and you plug it in after, say, every moto or every time you go out, you'll have plenty of a charge for the entire day that you're at the track if you keep plugging it in and having that good to go. But as far as like trail riding, 4+ hours is plenty of time. If you think about how long you normally ride, like, I mean, sure, some guys will ride longer than others, but majority, you're not going to ride over 2 hours a day if you really think about hours on the bike, or maybe 3 hours. So as far as the runtime, I'd be plenty with that. I'm going to go some of the parts that are on the bike, and I'm pretty sure, or almost 100% positive, that still from bike model to bike model it has the same parts, but it's got Brembo brakes, so you're definitely going to stop pretty quick, same as on the KTMs. Warp 9 wheels, so you don't really got to worry about bending wheels. I mean, sure you still can, but and then the battery's waterproof. That was the same in the other model, so you don't have to worry about riding it in the mud, rain, snow, or whatever. Next thing is the maintenance on this thing, which is major. Think about how often you clean your air filter, change oil, top ends, blah blah blah. Like this thing doesn't have to have any maintenance to the motor or anything for 1,000 hours. If you think about how many hours you put on your bike in a season, so say the average guy puts 60, 70, 80 hours on a top end in a season, then you got to rebuild that bike. So you get 1,000 runtime hours before you got to do any maintenance of the bike. That, I think, is a major selling point, is for me, with not having to do any maintenance. You don't got to do air filters, you don't got to change oil, blah blah blah. Like all that stuff adds up, and you think about the price. Say you're spending 12,000, that's pretty competitive compared to a KTM is about, for a factory edition, I think it's about 10, 11,000 out the door. So you really think about the overall, like, what you're spending. Sure, it's a lot, but you're getting a lot more out of it. You're not spending as much money. You don't have to do top ends. You don't got to rebuild the motor, and just stuff like that adds up over time. And I think that will make it worthwhile, especially even at 12,000. And I'll talk about the price on the normal Redshift bike, not the new model that just came out. But that right there I think is a selling point. I'm not sure what you guys think. Post a comment down below what you think so far, if you would buy one, your opinion on the Altas, and really think about it. Don't just say, oh, it has no sound, blah blah blah, I want noise. Like, really think about it, and have an educated comment down below on your opinion. But alright, so now I'm going to compare it to the old Redshift, kind of go back and forth and tell you guys some of the specs. So now for horsepower, the old one had 42 versus the 50. It had 120 foot-pounds of torque compared to the almost 150. And then the charge time on the old one was 2 hours on 240 volts, and then 4 hours on 120 volts. So cut the charge time down a little bit. Now for the weight, the old one weighed 265 pounds, and the new one weighs 259, so they saved a little bit of weight somewhere. And the price on that is $10,500. So for about $11,000 out the door, you can get the older model. For now, onto the runtime on the old bike. For trail riding, it's about 4 hours, so about the same, maybe a little bit less than 4 hours. For the backyard moto, just cruising around, about 45 minutes versus the hour. And then for the race time, it's about 20 minutes. So you get about 5 minutes longer on the new bike, and it really all depends on how you ride it. It could last you 3-4 hours if you're just cruising trail riding, or if your hard motos, like I said, like 30 minutes. So depends on what you're doing with it. Some other differences: the old bike comes with Bridgestone tires, the new one comes with Dunlop, and I mean, regardless, you change those out, whatever. But yeah, as far as the what bike to buy, I mean, majority are gonna probably go towards the newer bike, because for about $2,000 more at that point, you may as well get the newer model and get all the new specs and the charge time and a little bit longer run time, and all the new fancy things or whatever that are on it. I probably didn't cover half the new stuff that's on it. It's just kind of a summary on my opinion, or trying to get your opinion on it in the comments. And yeah, I mean, I definitely am really interested in an Alta, just for this factor that it's silent. You don't got to worry about the noise. Just think about going out of your garage and just riding wherever you want, going to ride mountain bike trails. I'm not sure how the mountain bike riders would feel about that, but I'd definitely try to do it. Riding down where normally cops would try to bust you because they'd hear you, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know if they'd give you as much of a hard time because it's an e-bike. Like, you'd be like, officer, it doesn't even have a motor, it's just electric. Like, I don't know, maybe you get away with it a little more, maybe not. But I'd definitely try to push that a little bit and ride places that I normally couldn't with my gas bike, and do it on the electric. Like I said, that just the sound factor, and even if I can get 2 hours minimum runtime out of it, I'd be happy with 2 hours. Some people can't get over the noise factor. I understand that, but it's the whole, like, I don't know, just hearing what you're doing. But there is a sound to it. If you watch the videos, if you're not educated on the Altas, there is a sound. You can hear the tones on the bike as it revs up a little bit, but it obviously doesn't have the motor sound or whatever. And I mean, I can honestly get over that. I wouldn't solely have an Alta as your core race bike, or whatever you want to call it, your core riding bike. You also have a gas bike, and you want to tool around on the Alta, you have the Alta, and you have the gas bike for when you want to do that, and that whole deal. Like, it's definitely one of those things where it's not going to take over, but it's just a cool something you can ride. I don't know, a lot of you understand what I'm trying to say, just for the noise factor and being able to ride whenever or wherever you want. And that is a major selling point for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people too. For some of the specs on the bike, if you guys didn't know and you're interested in Altas, definitely check them out, and I'll leave their Instagram and stuff down below in the description if you want to follow them. Let me know what you guys think about the bikes. Don't just comment they're stupid, there's no noise. Definitely do some research before you start commenting, because I see a lot of comments on the Alta YouTube videos and various other videos that do videos on the Altas, and it's a big controversy. People go back and forth, they argue about the electric factor and that it's stupid, blah blah blah. But it's definitely going to take over eventually if you think about it. And you're definitely going to see some in the future, and some supercrosses, some outdoors. I'd imagine once they get approval, and I don't think they're allowed to yet, but once they get that approval and get everything set in stone, you're definitely going to see some Altas racing. And it's just the way it is. And think about in the next 5 years how advanced these things are going to be. Like just now, they're such a new company. What, it's been a year since they really released the first bike, and I'm saying in 5 years they're going to be so advanced and so crazy, and the run time's going to increase and the charge time's going to go down. So not everything can come fast, but definitely the next 5 years are going to be insane, and a lot more people that hated them before are definitely going to want one, that's for sure. So let me know if you guys would want to see me on an Alta, if you want to see some videos on an Alta. Definitely post a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see some content like that. What kind of videos do you want to see as far as that? Because I could maybe try to make some things happen, try to get myself on an Alta. So off of that, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit the subscribe button down below if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.